Hi people, hi everybody, how are you doing? And welcome to the new month. Yes, it's a month of December, the last month of 2021. We are so blessed. We are so blessed to be able to see the last month of this year. And most importantly, to have hope that we are going to see 2022. It's been a very challenging year. COVID-19 hit us from last year. It's been really challenging. Our Kenyan economy has been really terrible, I must say. Yeah, but God has been good, and I'm so happy to be meeting you once again. I'm so happy to be sharing another video. It's been a minute, I've been away for a while, but I'm back. My name is Zawadi Rose. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I pray that you find this information helpful. Today I'm having some issues with my lighting. It's really poor. But anyway, we have to do what we have to do. Once again, welcome. Here in Kenya, say karibu sana. Yes, and always I say you can drop a comment. It's good to be motivating, to be encouraging one another. This is basically a platform where we have a chance to motivate each other. I might not, you might not have finances to help someone, but you can have words that can bring that person back to life. And by the way, there are so many people who have money, but they have no they don't have people who can give them words of encouragement when they are down, because it doesn't mean that the only problems you have are financial. When you have some financial issues, you feel that afadhali wale watu wako na pesa, and you think that those who have money are okay, but you could be having money but you have other problems. When you look at all these people who post messages on they want to end their lives, not all of them have financial problems. Some are financially okay, but they have other problems, emotional problems and the like. So once again, welcome. And today I want to talk about very interesting topic about limiting God. Our God is not limited. Our God is limitless. So let us stop limiting God. Let us stop limiting our God. Let us stop putting a fence around areas that we think God tembea hapo, just this is where I want you to go with me. This is the far I want you to go with me. Don't put a boundary up for God. Do not limit God. You cannot limit him no matter how much you try. I have tried him and I know that I cannot limit him. I've been in situations where I was, God, the only thing I need ni hii tu, nataka tu 500 and my problems will be over. But he decides, no, I'll give you 5,000. Do not limit God. God, mi nataka tu kazi ya kufagia. I just want a sweeper, a cleaner's job. But God decides, no, you deserve better. Do not limit God. Do not limit yourself. I talked about low self-esteem in another video. Do not let your self-esteem make you limit yourself, and in the process limit God. I give you a few tips on how you can work on your self-esteem. And today I want to say, do not limit God. We go through so many difficult situations. We go through moments when we feel that, God, I know for sure you're not here. How do I know? Because I've prayed and prayed and prayed, and I know you're not here. But I want to tell you, our God is omnipresent. Our God is always here with us. He knows everything that we are going through. He says that, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. That is what he told Jeremiah. And our God says that he has good plans for us, that we may be prosperous, not that we may perish. Okay? So I'm telling you today, no matter what situation you're going through, do not limit God. You might have been kicked out. It's end month right now, and you're worried about rent. And you're thinking now, my landlord has even issued, sometimes when you think about this, the things that happen to us in life, you don't even know. Sometimes the landlord has even decided to evict you from where you're living. You've not paid your rent for 3 months. And now you have children who are in school, you don't have school fees. You're abandoned by your husband. You're abandoned by your wife. Because it's not just husbands who abandon wives. Wives also abandon husbands. You don't have friends, because normally when you have problems, you don't have friends. Everybody has disappeared from your life. And because we are so used to asking for help from people, and you don't have a single friend standing by you, you're like, now I'm done. But God is always there. If only you can know that God is always there. There's a moment when I felt that, God, I know that I'm done. And God, from the look of things, you're nowhere close to me. And I was so depressed. And the only thing that I wanted to do was to just end my life. It's not long ago. It's actually 4 years ago. And it reached a point where I told God, you know what? I don't have the courage to end my life. I can't. I don't have the guts to take a rope and tie it around my neck, or I don't have the guts to take poison and swallow. But I was telling God, just kill me in your own way, just end my life. And it reached a point where I told God, it's either you change my life or you end my life, because I've hustled too much. I've struggled too much. Those who know me know that I've hustled in this life. I've hustled. And I've gone to Saudi and the likes. That's really for another day. But in that moment, God showed me how much I could not limit him. God changed my life around so much that even today when I think about it, I don't believe the things that God did for me. He gave me peace. He gave me love, even from the people that I felt that hated me so much. He restored my life. But when we limit God, when we see like, sasa Mungu najua this is the end. When we feel that now, God, you're done. I believe that when Joseph was betrayed by his brothers, and you know, family is it's so important to us, because when you have your brothers, your sisters, these are people who are supposed to be your support. They're supposed to be your pillars. When you're with your sister or your brother or your parents, you know that now I'm home, I'm okay. But in Joseph's story, everything was different. It is the brothers who betrayed him. It is the brothers who showed him that we don't care about you. In fact, we wish you are not born, because unakuja sana, you coming too fast, my brother. And they decided to betray him. They initially wanted to kill him, but later, because of God, this limitless God, they decided to throw him into a pit. And later, they even made a better decision, which to them was like getting rid of him completely. They decided to sell him into slavery. And because of God, because of the favor of God, because of this limitless God, Joseph found himself in the hands of Potiphar, who favored him, who made him work in his household, who made him in charge of everything in his household. But then the devil was also at work through Potiphar's wife, who made Joseph to be thrown into prison. But because of this limitless God, even in prison, even in prison, God was witnessed. Because after prison came promotion. After prison came promotion. Because our God is limitless. And Joseph was promoted. To cut the story short, you can go back to the Bible and read it if you've never read it. Joseph was promoted to being the prime minister. And it's through Joseph that these same brothers, came to find help. It is through this Joseph that they did not die of hunger. So sometimes when we are rejected by people, we are rejected by friends and family, and we feel that, God, if the people who are close to me have rejected me, then I don't even think you're here. And we limit him. We tend to limit him. But you don't know that he's getting rid of these people because he wants to work with you alone. He wants to work on you, just you, so that at the end you're going to say, it is God. It is not my brother. It is not my mother. It is not my sister. It is God himself who did this to me. And all glory and honor will go unto God. And that is the wonders that this is what our limitless God did to Joseph. From a prisoner to a prime minister. From prison to promotion. You know, our God is so great. Our God is so wonderful. The same thing that God did to Jephthah. I wish you can read the story of Jephthah, because every time I think of Jephthah, I feel that I have my strength back. I feel that I have my strength back. This is a very interesting story. You can read the book of Kings. And Jephthah was rejected by his stepbrothers simply because he was born of a woman they felt that was not worthy. They called him the son of a prostitute because Jephthah's mother was not the wife to his father. And the stepbrothers decided to also kick him out, the same way Joseph was kicked out by his own brothers. They kicked him out, and Jephthah walked out silently. He did not curse. He did not insult them. He did not fight back. He did not go and plan a revenge. And mark you, Jephthah was a warrior. He was a fighter. And because of this limitless God, years later, wherever Jephthah went, because God had made him great, he had people who trusted in him. He settled. He lived a good, quiet life. But because God had put something in him, he was a warrior. And even these people who had kicked him out, the brothers and the elders, knew how great he was. They went looking for him. When they kicked him out, they did not care if he's going to die out there. They did not care. But later, when they were attacked, when they were the land where they kicked him out from, so that he does not have an inheritance, because that was the major reason why Jephthah was kicked out, so that he does not inherit. They felt that he did not deserve to inherit their father's land. Later, the whole of that land, the Israelites who were there discovered that even the land that they have, they cannot even enjoy it, because they are always being attacked by their neighbors. And they remembered God, our limitless God, made them remember that you cannot do this without Jephthah. That rejected stone is needed right now. That which you had rejected is, hey, I know you sometimes you feel rejected by your people. I'm talking to someone who has felt rejected by his own people. And you know what? God is telling you today, they will come looking for you. They will not make decisions without you. And most importantly, they will not even prosper without you. And they will go looking for you. They will look for you like the way they look for peace. Because without peace, you can go to, I always tell a friend of mine called Susan, God bless you, Susan. And I can go to the end of the world to look for peace. Because without peace, oh my friend, forget about life. They will look for you the way they look for peace, not even the way they look for money. Yes, because you can have money but minus peace, you're better dead. They will look for you. And our limitless God, if you let God work with you and don't limit him, don't tell him that, God, I just want a cleaner's job and I'll be good to go. You can apply for higher jobs. I'm saying that because I'm also talking to me. Because there are times when I felt that I can only have friends who are down there, where we don't have any competition. I cannot dare scale higher, because if I scale higher, there are people who are much better than me. And I forgot that God created you. God created me as a very unique person. I'm the only Rose, the word Rose that there can be in this world. There are so many people with the name Rose, but we are all so different. I have my own uniqueness. There are times when I felt that I was not beautiful. I was the ugliest girl that was born. I felt that for so many years. And the funny thing is that there are things you don't tell your parents or your sisters or your friends. You only tell yourself. There are things that I could not do with other people because I was like, hey, no, hawako kwa league yangu, they are not in my league, and I could shy away. I could limit my God. And I must say this today. There's a time when I was in Lebanon, and that is something that I have to tell and to use that. I use that as an encouragement. I was in Lebanon in around 2012, and I came back in 2013 when my dad was down with stroke, and unfortunately he passed on in 2015. I love you, Dad. I miss you. Yeah, my dad was my role model, by the way. My dad was very instrumental in making me who I am today. The reason why I'm a journalist is because of my father. I attribute that to my dad. He discovered who I was when I was so confused. I was one of the most confused human beings. Anyway, sorry for another day. When I was in Lebanon, I had gone there for these normal jobs that people go for, this free everything, free passport, free everything. I had gone for housekeeper's job, and I did it for 3 months, and I was really overworked. And then because I would say I'm a bit intelligent, so I worked my plans around, and my agent, I had an agent there, an Arab agent. He became my good friend, and he told me, you know what, I know the family you're working for is not so good, so just go, be patient for a month. I know you can think. I know Kenyans are very intelligent. Go work out a plan, and in a month, come back to the office. And that's what I did. And God gave me an idea. I will not tell you which idea, but it was a crazy one. But she pulled through, and I was taken back to the office, and I got a supermarket job as a cleaner too, but it was better than the housekeeping job. And later I decided that these guys are overworking me, and I decided to what Kenyans call kemboing. I decided to kemboy, or to run away, without even my passport. Even I left everything, my clothes and everything. I only had my uniform on because you could work in a uniform. I left with my uniform. Imagine that madness. But I had made some friends, and I got a place to stay and everything. But in the process of looking for a job, because you can get jobs without a passport or an ID, they call it the Ikama. I didn't have my ID too, because my ID was with my boss, my former boss. So, but I was able to get jobs. There are jobs where they don't ask you for your ID, especially these cleaners jobs. And when I was there, remember when I had gone I was direct to a certain mall. You know, when you have friends and they link you around, and we went there to a certain office where they were taking in cleaners, and I decided, because I was very idle waiting for my boss to be, there were a few idle computers, and I just decided to, when you love something, and I really love computers, so I decided to start just keeping myself busy. And I remember there were some Bangladesh guys who are working as cleaners there, who had finished their shift, and they were waiting for their boss or something, can't remember. And I could remember they were gossiping in Arabic and saying that I'm going to be in a lot of trouble because I'm a black girl. I'm a stupid black girl who has what we call kimbelembele, and I'm becoming very nosy, and I'll be in hot soup. But when the boss came, his name was Michael somebody. When he came, he was so fascinated. Like, you mean you can handle a computer? And I was like, yeah. And he told me, so what can you do? I told him, not much, but I can do something. And he gave me some papers to type, some tables to make and stuff like that. And I was able to do the work. And he was like, wow, I love it. And it so happened, to cut the story short, it so happened that he had one very lazy Arab secretary who smoked a lot. This girl could smoke and smoke and smoke, because smoking in Lebanon is very common. Smoking is just like taking a cup of tea, and she could not do much. So I ended up being able to do more than she could. So eventually I was hired. And the girl was so bitter working with a black girl that she decided to quit. Yes, she quit, unfortunately. And I was there. But I was thinking, God, I've just come from. But initially, I had got a place where I could be going to clean. But I never cleaned that place for even a day. Because when I was to start working the next day, my boss decided that no, Rose, you're better. You're so good. I don't know. I don't care if you have papers, but I was put in charge of the other guys. And when I'm not checking their work, when they could go clean in a certain mall, I can't remember the name of the mall. It is in Beirut, Lebanon, and I was their supervisor. Can you imagine that? And there's this Ethiopian guy who was working in a coffee shop, and every morning I could go to the mall. I'm all dressed up, looking good. You know, he was like, "Hey, black girl." She would call me Inti Aswad, meaning a black girl. Hey, black girl. Hey, Kenyan girl, you're so lucky. And I wouldn't say I'm lucky. I would say that I was limiting God. I was limiting God in that all I needed was a cleaner's job. But God was telling me, no, you're better. You're wiser. You know? And I did not work for long, because later I discovered that my dad was sick and had to come back. But I'm saying I had limited God. But God was telling me, nah, no, no, you can go far. I can take you far. And my message for you, because I don't want to make a very long video, what I want to tell you today is that do not limit God. Let God work wonders in your life. When you go to your place of work, let God be. Tell him, God, you know what? I'm letting you work on me full swing. I'm not limiting you. And that is what I want to tell you today. Jephthah, they went back to look for Jephthah to fight for them. And he did fight for them. And he won. And they were able to live in peace. Because of this guy. You know, I talk a lot, sometimes I forget. I was about to forget what I was saying about Jephthah. He won. He won for them. And they were able to live in peace because of him. Do not limit God. I am not going to limit God. And God, today I'm asking for forgiveness if I have limited you, because I know sometimes I do. Sometimes I forget, and I do. Lord, let me not limit you. Do not limit God. Do not limit God. May God bless you. Once again, my name is Zawadi Rose. See you in my next video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. I know you'll find this video helpful. It's good also to share the information with somebody else. I pray that God blesses you. I pray that whatever situation you're going through, God is going to come through for you. He has come through for me so many times, and I'm not going to limit him. God, you know, sometimes I decide to limit you, but I'm just human, and I'm imperfect. And for you, I pray peace for you. I pray peace over your life. In Jesus' name. I'll meet you in the next video. God bless you, bless you, bless you. Goodbye.